Trey Lance looked like a completely different quarterback today, and I think he shocked everyone. He was doing what everyone said he wasn't able to do, which is throw a tight spiral. His throwing motion looked much more compacted, and his lower half finally looked cleaned up. This is extremely encouraging because this is what held Trey Lance back before. It was his throwing motion. So if it's finally cleaned up and this is able to carry over to games, then Trey Lance could have a totally breakout year. And I think this all began with Trey Lance finally being healthy. While many fans and analysts were bashing Trey Lance's first 2 seasons, what many people didn't realize is Trey Lance broke his index finger his rookie year and never fully recovered until just recently. So Trey Lance was really hindered from developing his mechanics his first 2 seasons in the NFL. But this offseason, that wasn't the case. Trey Lance's index finger was fully recovered and his ankle was fully recovered from his week 2 injury. Finally being healthy, Trey Lance had the opportunity to work on his craft this offseason, which really wasn't the opportunities he received in the past because Trey Lance was really just overcompensating for his broken finger when he was throwing, which led to plenty of inaccuracies and also inconsistencies. This offseason, Trey Lance looked to change all of that by working out with Patrick Mahomes and changing his throwing coach to the same throwing coach Patrick Mahomes uses in Jeff Christensen. And that looks to be paying off majorly. Jeff Christensen even spoke about Trey Lance's development, saying he's 25% ahead of where he thought he would be at this time, and also envisioned him doing incredible things in Shanahan's offense. And after today, I have to agree. Trey Lance looked extremely accurate, but what also stood out is Trey Lance finally looks like he belongs. And by that I mean he looks like an NFL quarterback and looks comfortable being an NFL quarterback. In the past, Trey Lance kind of looked unsure of his role on the team, but Brock Purdy last year showed, hey, you have to go in and show these guys that you're confident, and I think Trey Lance really learned from that because today Trey Lance looked confident, and I don't know if that's because he's been working out with guys like Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes and has a much improved throwing motion, or if it's because he did a lot of introspection and realized what was holding him back as a quarterback. And while this is just our first glimpse at what Trey Lance is, I think the Niners and Niner fan base should be pleased. I think Trey Lance has a real opportunity to shock the entire world this season. I think he could have a true breakout year and leave everyone wondering why they've been questioning him this whole entire offseason. These are just my initial thoughts on Trey Lance today. He looked exactly like what the 49ers would hope for. I mean, I can't believe he was able to make this much progress despite coming off his ankle injury. He looks like a totally different quarterback, and I'm excited to see what he does in Kyle's offense. I would also be intrigued if Kyle opens up the competition between Trey Lance and Brock Purdy when Purdy's healthy. This is just my initial reactions though, and only one day of OTAs doesn't change everything, but if Trey Lance is able to continually work and build upon this, he could be the Niners franchise quarterback. And that's not a bad thing considering Brock Purdy could also be the 49ers franchise quarterback. Those are just my thoughts on today's OTAs, and I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Thank you guys so much for watching.